Hi, welcome to Navigating the Truth. And this week, my guest is Willow Tumblety, and we just have a chat about world events. Enjoy the show.
I can't hear you, but you can hear me, right?
We interrupt to bring you this.
We've hijacked your daily dose of regurgitated news to bring you Navigating the Truth. Brace yourself, listeners, as you're about to enter a world where the narrative is no longer masqueraded as the truth. A world where the conspiracies of yesterday's translate into the truths of today.
Are you listening?
The veils covering the truth are lifting, and understandings once suppressed are finally being revealed. Will you be ready? And now, your host and navigator through these circles of lies, the host of Navigating the Truth, Caroline Bell Tumblety.
Hello, welcome to Navigating the Truth. It is Sunday the 23rd of April, and it is a lovely evening here in Scotland. We've actually had quite a few sunny days, and I'd like to thank the listeners who have chose to listen in today. And I have my daughter here. She has come back, so I didn't scare her off the last time. Hi, Willow. How are you doing?
Hello, I'm good. How are you doing?
Doing okay. I'm doing okay. It's actually been really nice the past week here, weather-wise.
It's been beautiful.
But it's odd. It's odd weather, isn't it?
Yeah, the wind is still ice.
It's an
cold.
ice
I
wind,
don't like
which
that
is
part. Yeah.
no, and it takes a good few hours of the sun being like it has to be clear in the sky in order for any kind of warmth to be felt.
Oh yeah, yeah. The sun has
Where'd you go?
for you to feel it.
Yeah, you
Oh,
went
am
in
I
and
still
out
here?
there. Yeah, you went in and out there a
Oh,
wee
sorry.
bit. Yeah. Yeah, it's really interesting, and it's that icy wind that gets me, that like ice, and because when I walk you to the boat in the morning, I think I complain that my eyeballs are cold.
Yeah.
It's such a weird feeling, like when your eyes are cold,
Yeah.
know? Yeah. Anyways, so how's your week been?
It's been okay. It's busy over on Erin, so we're seeing more and more people come over on the boat. But yeah, things are going really well.
Yeah. What did you have? You had some kind of marathon this week or some kind of
Yeah, it was like a the thing is called Girls on Hills, and it's led by like a few women that just take women up mountains, and like they days and
you
they
keep
get to learn
going in
about
and out there.
nutrition and oh, I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't know why either. Anyway, so like it's a group, right? And one of them was a mountain climber, was she or she was involved
Yeah,
in some kind of sports?
they call her an elite fell runner. So she's
Ooh.
she's a professional mountain runner. And this
Wow.
is what she does. Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. And how was your boat journey this past week?
It's been so much better. So we had our ferry was out of service for about 4 or 5 months, and we had a much smaller boat to carry us across. Had about maybe half the capacity that the bigger one does, and that was a nightmare. That it was a miserable journey. I hated every second of it.
I know. I know.
But
praying for that big boat to come back. Yeah.
Yeah. Now I can tuck myself away in a corner and not see anyone if I don't want to.
Well, there was, what was it, last week? You had texted me and you said they're cancelling all the boats. The last boat is at 1:55. They're letting passengers on until 3:00. And you were texting me at 1:55 and you were like, it's already packed. I don't know where they're going to put the people.
Even the smaller boat had an issue where the exhaust leaked into the engine room.
Mm-hmm.
Which I thought I was like, oh God, we're just not going to have a boat at all at this point.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it was rough.
Yeah, and for the listeners that don't know what we're talking about Willow. We live on the coast, and the job that Willow has, she has to take a boat in the morning,
Mhm.
and it's an hour crossing to where she goes. And the islanders are very dependent on the boats, as well as the people on this side who work over there. And it has just been shenanigans, hasn't it?
Oh, it's been awful. Like I would go into the supermarket in the morning and there'd be nothing on the shelves. They'd still be waiting for their deliveries. And I
Yeah.
mean, like I don't know how they did it over there. I don't know how they can survive when stuff like that
No,
happens, because it
I know.
happens a lot.
Well, it seems to be happening more in the last couple of years than it.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I worked over there when I first moved back here, and I don't remember the cancellations the way that you have experienced
Oh
it,
God,
or
yeah.
like weather. We always knew if the wind was blowing a certain way, it was really hard for it to pull into the harbour,
Hmm.
just the way they've set it up. And yet, if you go back to when they originally designed the harbour, it was much, much more efficient
Yeah.
for the boats to come in and out. And
Yeah.
like, I mean, they call it improvements, they call it like, but it never, it's almost like the engineers have not been allowed to pass on the apprenticeships to the younger ones. And I would say that's been going on for about maybe 30, 40 years.
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah.
It's just the more and more corners get cut, more and more pockets get lined, and the work doesn't get done.
Hmm. So what do you think it is, like, as far as like the engineering of the boats, like the parts, like there was even one part that they were waiting for that was broken on arrival?
Yeah. It's shambles left, right, and center.
Yeah.
And I'm not even sure where they're getting the parts from. I don't think they're getting them from a Scottish shipyard. I think
No.
they're importing
No, they
them.
shut them all down, sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I think we've
So
got one in Greenock now,
yeah,
whereas we were a
yeah.
shipbuilding
So it's coming from
nation.
exactly. So it's coming from like halfway across the world,
Hmm.
and it's just it's infuriating.
It's frustrating, so it is.
But it's also like it's such a circus that I can't help but laugh at it.
Well, you have to or you cry.
Exactly.
Like the poor people that actually live over there, and I'm talking about the workers. I'm not talking about
Mhm.
the wealthy ones that are there. Like, not that I have anything against being wealthy, but they kind of tend to hoard things, and
Mhm.
that is the case of the damming up of the funds on the planet right now. It's all being dammed up. But what was I going to say? Yeah, the people who actually are dependent on the grocery stores to be filled, and they're jipping them left, right, and centre. Like the prices are hacked up, like jacked up, like maybe 3 times what we're paying on this side.
Yeah.
So it's pretty bad, you know. Like, uh, I also think about the British Navy. Now, think about the British Navy, like tons and tons of ships. Like we pretty much prided ourselves on our navy. How many Navy ships do you think are sitting, not being used, that could actually be like maybe refurbished and used
Mhm.
as passenger boats, like and we wouldn't be having this problem.
Yeah.
But maybe that's a stretch. Like maybe they can't think that far. I don't know.
I don't
But
know. It seems all very short-sighted. Like
yeah,
every decision that gets done, it's just for whoever's in charge right now. Whoever
yeah,
like as much profit as they can get in a
hmm,
single instance.
yeah. Because 4 years later they won't be in that position, and it won't be
Yeah.
their worry. Yep,
So they don't care. Yeah.
they don't care. Yeah. Do you
Uh,
think it's changing?
yeah.
Do you
It's.
think
I
Do
think
you
people
think
are
it's
getting
actually changing? Do you think
fed
people
up
have,
with it.
sorry?
I
Yeah.
think people are getting fed
Yeah,
up
they're
with
getting
it
frustrated.
for sure.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just there's a sense of helplessness because it's like what do you do?
That's really like that's interesting. Like I remember reading something, oh, this is many years ago, and it had to do with the shooting JF Kennedy, John F. Kennedy. And it was actually, I think it was a psychologist's take on it, or like a panel of people. And they basically said it was an exercise in helplessness,
Mm.
as people sat on their couches in their living rooms with their television showing their president being assassinated over and over and over, and people couldn't do anything. So there's been a few things wrote on it that was an exercise in helplessness.
Mm.
And it's funny that you mentioned that that's how people are feeling. Like, I think people want to do something, like they want to kind of make things like function how they're supposed to function in order to have a decent style of life or quality of life.
Yeah.
But it's like, what do we do? You know, like, you know, the government is just imploding like all over the place. They're just and it's just like constantly distraction after distraction after distraction, like no real solutions to anything, no real answers to the questions. And also a lot of people are even scared still to talk up, like
absolutely,
because they're shut down, you know, or they're worse than that, you know, like it's worse than that. So I don't know, you know, like I don't know, like I don't think I think we feed it in a sense. We feeling helpless,
you
know. So we have to kind of undo that kind of feeling, because you know what, I don't want to be feeding anything except me. You know?
Well, I mean, there's that famous V for Vendetta quote, you know, people shouldn't be afraid of their governments. Governments should be afraid of their people. And there's way more of us.
Yeah. I mean, how many times do we hear this? There's way more. Yes. And also, like, there is the belief that they will do it if they know the people want it. But they're not listening to the people. They're actually doing everything to avoid listening to the people.
They're keeping people as beaten down as possible. You know, like living paycheck to paycheck, not having an hour to yourself after you get home from work. It's like it's all on purpose, I feel like.
Yeah, because like, what would you accomplish, you know, if you didn't have all your time taken up with the work and the making sure the bills are paid? Like,
well,
remember,
we see what people can do. Like, free time is probably the like hottest commodity on the planet. To have the time to explore what you want to do, to have just the comfort that like, oh, I can try out this hobby, I can do that without a care in the world. And what happens is you get billionaires, you get artists, you get musicians, you get like, that's what happens.
Yeah, when you let them like decide for themselves. You know?
I think about lockdown, and like obviously not all of us had the chance to stay at home and work on hobbies, but it was kind of glorious when we could, you know. Like, we were painting, we were like
we were painting, we were walking, we were pretty much reading a lot. I was reading a lot. Yeah. So what are you reading right now?
I'm in between books right now, but I've just picked up Aragon or Aragon. I'm not actually sure how you pronounce it, but it's that book. It was written back when I was in high school about a boy who finds a dragon egg, and I remember loving it when I was a kid. And the author was 19 when he first wrote that book.
Wow.
He was like my biggest idol because that's what I wanted to do.
Yeah, you did.
So I'm reading
still
that.
Do it.
So I'm gonna read that. Yep. Oh yeah. I think about it every so often. I'm like, man, I would love to write a book, but I don't have time.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, you know, I had interviewed a lady a couple of weeks back, and she was talking about like her process. I think it was when she was doing making oracle cards, and she had a full-time job. She was a single mom, and she would start working on it for 4 o'clock in the evening when she got home until 4 in the morning. She barely slept for like 18 months. Like, she was so, and I think like, like we have to work. Well, we don't have to work, but like the system is set up in such a way that we do. But can you imagine what we
Yeah.
could actually accomplish?
If we
You
just
know,
had time. I mean,
if we
like
just had time.
she had to cut into her sleeping time
Yeah, yeah,
so that she
yeah.
could do that. But
Hmm.
like if we didn't have to, I think the world would be a much better place.
Well, look at the people who go into their garages determined to come up with like an alternative heat source or like
Hmm.
something that's going to purify water or like, and they do it. They build it in the garage,
Hmm.
and then it never sees the light of day. Or
I
it,
know.
it's just, you know, it's just really, really like backwards. Everything is backwards.
Yeah, it doesn't feel right.
No, it doesn't feel right, and it hasn't felt right for a long time. I even remember when we moved out of the Catskill Mountains and we moved down to Rhinebeck. I remember being shocked, like totally shocked. Like I had been living up in the mountains, and because I was pretty much doing my own thing, and like I kind of figured everybody was, like it's
Hmm.
really naive, and I realized really quick that I couldn't talk about certain things, and I kind of told myself it's too early. You need to wait a wee while for people to catch up.
Yeah.
I felt like I was, which was probably the wrong way to be. It was probably, but then again, I was a single mom. I had to work. I didn't want to bring unnecessary attention to myself. Like, so I was head down and doing the work.
Yeah.
But it was difficult for me to hold my tongue a lot of the times.
Yeah.
It really was, as you know, like
No, I get
growing up.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, it is difficult. Yes, it's difficult.
It's hard. It's hard to like there's not a lot of opportunities to make meaningful connections with people. Like
No.
I mean, you're lucky if you find one person that you work with that you like. So
Yeah.
and that's basically where all your time goes. So making friends outside of that is like near impossible.
Mhm. Yeah.
And it gets harder the older you get. Like it was easy when we were in high school and we were all, or even in middle school, elementary, when we're all just shoved together.
Mhm.
And we'd be four at a table, and that would be my friends for the day.
Yeah. Yeah. That would be your friends for the day. But
Yeah.
it's also there's no as many barriers, I think, when you're a child.
Yeah.
They come later.
Oh yeah, it's basically you like trucks, I like trucks. We're friends now.
Right? That's all you need. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you actually surprised me. Was it this week when you came home? Like you're one of the most polite people I know, and I'm not just saying that because you're my daughter, but you really are. You're always respectful. You always have been. And it was on the boat. You came in and you were fit for bear.
Oh yeah, I was PO'd.
Yeah. What happened?
Yeah. So people are just generally very rude, I
Mhm.
guess. Like I mean, I see it in my work, I see it on the street, I see it on the boat. So I think just people are kind of generally pretty rude right now.
Mhm.
And I'll get just shoved aside like every day, just shoved out of the way, like pushed. Uh, if I'm trying to get in line to go on the boat, they just walk right by me. If I'm trying to get off the boat, they try and cut in front of me. It's like never
Mhm.
ending. And what happened this time was I was in the queue and there was a mom and her two boys in front of me. And they were just they were watching the boat come in and they were just like, ooh, ah, like, what boys do. And she had gone to get the rest of her family to
Mhm.
come back into line. And I was trying to just hold their place because they were in front of me, clearly. And
Mhm.
instead, the people behind me were pushing me to go to keep going. And
Mhm.
I was like, no, they're coming back. Like, I'm not going to do that.
Mhm.
And two people just went in front of me.
Yeah.
Just went right by me, and I was like, I'm not taking this. So I elbowed them out of the way, and I went in front. And I was petty that
Yay!
moment. But I hate it.
Yeah,
I
enough,
hate the feeling
Mhm. You hate the feeling of what?
of that, like that frustration, getting annoyed. I don't like being annoyed like that. You know, just being like, oh, people suck.
Yeah.
Like that's the overwhelming thought in my mind. People suck. And I don't like thinking that.
I know. But like the proof is in the pudding.
Exactly. That's the thing.
Yeah,
like
I know.
they just keep proving it to me.
Mm-hmm. But they're not all like that, you know.
They're not all like that. No.
But
no.
I don't know. Like, I have to agree with you. Like, I don't see it. I don't see people improving. Like, I don't see it. Like, at first I thought, like, they were all locked up. They realized that they were not a good person and they just went with it. You know?
Well, I feel like a big attitude that came out of lockdown was you don't owe anyone anything.
Wow.
And that includes being polite and being nice, I apparently. And it's like, no, like you don't technically owe anyone anything. They don't owe you anything, but isn't it nice to be nice? You know?
Well, yeah.
That's what I think.
I had a conversation with somebody last week, and that was basically the gist of the conversation is, if you're kind, they think you're stupid.
Yeah.
You know, like when did we start equating that? You know, like kindness equals stupidity. Like when did we start like changing the ideas around these things? You know, I must have missed that.
I don't like it.
I don't like it.
And
either.
I think I mean, we have experienced a lot of unkindness, and I think that teaches us the importance of being kind to other people, because we have felt that, so we want others to feel like that.
Yeah,
it's that simple.
I would never want somebody to feel that way.
Yeah,
like,
never ever.
No, and like I tend to be the person who I don't need help. You know, you don't need to help me.
Yeah,
but I have really appreciated it when people have. You know,
absolutely.
And I never forget it.
Mm-hmm.
Never forget it. Yeah, I say bring back kindness, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's a lot harder to be kind than it is to be an asshole.
Well, you know, the way that it's happening, it looks like it's really easy to be an a-hole. You know?
It is. It's really easy, and you also get rewarded for it.
You get rewarded for it. Yeah. If you boot somebody out of a job and take the job, everybody's patting you on the back. Well done. You want a bonus? Yeah. Yeah, good. Yeah, nah. It's all wrong. Says it's really all wrong, in my opinion.
I agree.
Yeah, you agree with me? Oh yeah, and I need to tell you about my trip with Gran this week, but I'll tell you that when we come back. It looks like we're coming up on our first break. I want to thank the listeners who have chosen to listen in, and we will be right back.
You're listening to Navigating the Truth with Caroline Bell Tumblety, where the truth survives and the lies are exposed.
I just want to assure you that everything is under control. There's been no damage except for some temporary malfunction of the radio.
Come be a part of this awakening by joining us in chat or by calling our hotline at 702-425-9230. That's 702-425-9230. Worldwide callers, find us on Skype at KCOR Radio.
We're pushing the ultimate frontier here.
Control must be maintained.
More disinformation exposed and the truth discovered. After a word from our sponsors.
1 million miles till midnight. A story of timelines, artificial worlds, simulated races, and the galactic imprint. And the destiny of a blue world called Earth. 1 million miles till midnight, written by Solaris Blue Raven, is a journey through the mind's eye which allows the reader to surf a wave of technological and multidimensional intellect, revealing a bridge between conscious design and the truth. A multidimensional bleed-through awakens the world of artificial intelligence to set sail into the frontiers of a vast multiverse, morphing planets and terraforming ascended worlds beyond the linear programs of a fated race. 1 million miles till midnight will awaken, inspire, prepare, and enlighten one to the many multidimensional states of consciousness and worlds we reside in. With every cell and atom, we are this truth and multiverse. 1 Million Miles Till Midnight. Written by Solaris Blue Raven. Available now at Amazon.com. Don't wait. Get your copy today.
1, 2, 3, 4!
To the KCOR Digital Radio Network.
I love the way it sounds.
Love the music. I listen all day.
The future of radio is here and now.
Alien Deceptions, a suspenseful sci-fi romance thriller by Tina Marie, featuring the tantalizing Erica Jones and the mysterious Russell Hamilton. An out-of-this-world book of fiction based on years of document facts and files the government does not want you to know about, at least not yet. Alien Deceptions by Tina Marie. Available now at Amazon.com or get a signed copy at TinaMarieEntertainment.com. Get your copy now.
Change your frequency, change your life with the Lemurian Plug. The Lemurian Plug is easy to control, simple to set up, and wireless. It helps to neutralize toxins and has restorative frequencies for healing. It also helps to protect you and your family from EMFs. The Lemurian Plug is energy efficient and designed using ancient technology for a superior design. One unit can cover up to 1,000 square feet. This life-changing product is reasonably priced. And isn't your family's health worth a small investment? For more information on the miraculous effects of this plug or to purchase the Lemurian Plug, visit thelemurianplug.com. That's thelemurianplug.com. The Lemurian Plug is like nothing you've ever experienced. Order yours today.
Vegas, baby!
Vegas' #1 source for talk and new music.
How cool is that?
Going live in 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back to Navigating the Truth, the one show that peels back the masks of the elite and exposes the truth we're not being told.
Here to warn you.
You must not abuse the power you've been given. Eventually, you will lose control of that power and the whole world will suffer.
Come partake in the awakening by calling the show at 702-425-9230. That's 702-425-9230.
Give us a call now.
Those around the world, connect with us on Skype at KCOR Radio. Follow us on Twitter at KCOR Radio or use hashtag KCOR. Come engage in the discussion live in our chat room at www.kcorradio.com.
Our survival depends upon it.
Now, back to examining the narratives and uncovering the truth with your host of Navigating the Truth, Caroline Bell Tumblety. Caroline Bell Tumblety.
Hi. Welcome back to Navigating the Truth, and I have my daughter here, Willow Tumblety, who has joined me for a nice little chat, and hopefully listeners have their tea, coffee, water, and welcome back, Willow.
Thank you.
So when we went to break there, I was going to tell you about an experience I had with Gran this week with the, well, all right, I'll do the background story, so you kind of know it because I've been harping on about it. But the background story is, what was it? About 2 years ago, Gran went for like a routine kind of eye test, like for to see if she needed different reading glasses or whatever. And when she went, now your Gran, her it's her left eye had a turn in it when she was a child. So she had an operation when she was older. I would say she was probably maybe about 30, maybe a wee bit more. And they straightened her left eye for her. And but she never saw well out of that eye. Like it was always she said she could see big things out of that eye. So when she went to go get her eyes tested, and she had, I think it was like it wasn't 20/20 vision she had in the right eye. She had like 10/20 or something like that. And when she went, the optician was really surprised to find that she had 20/20 vision in her right eye. So he was like, "You don't need you don't need the prescription for your glasses like to be increased or anything. Like basically we'll get you the glasses that you use when you read, like that helps your other eye focus. But 20/20 vision in your right eye." And she was like so thrilled about it. And she was saying to me, "How can that happen? Like, what is going on?" And I was like, "There's something like I didn't know. Like, I didn't have
something
the answer.
happened.
Something happened. Like, and then it was like, what was it? 6 months later, I would say it's about a year and a half ago, she started complaining that there was something in her eye.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember like being over there and she was saying, "I keep rubbing it." And she had been rubbing her eye. And I said, "You need to stop doing that." I said, "You're just irritating it." And she's like, "It's like there's something in it." And as I was looking at her eye, I could see it. It was a cataract.
Mm-hmm.
And I said to her, "We need to go to the opticians. We need to go and see what's going on here." So we had made an appointment. And basically, because she had just been there 6 months ago, the opticians was flapping. He was like, "Oh my," because cataracts are usually slow in growing, and they grow for usually for the corners of the eye moving over. But what had happened to Gran's is it was directly on the pupil of her eye. So that was why things were like she kept thinking there was something in her eye. Everything was cloudy. And he also made the comment that they don't usually grow that fast. And no, as she's telling, and he's telling her that he wouldn't even be able to put her down for the waiting list, like for cataract surgery, until March of this year. And she was beside herself because I think it's a panic for her because her left eye is never been her strong eye, and to be having issues with her right eye after going for like this miracle 20/20 vision to 6 months later developing a cataract in the front of the eye. And she decided that she was going to see if she could get it done quicker. So she had made an appointment with a clinic that was well, you know where it was. And the thing about it is that I've been asking her, like, is any of her friends like talking about and she says, "Oh, it's terrible, it's terrible." The some of the women that she attends her little clubs with or bingos and stuff, they have had the cataract operation, and now they have the cataract growing back over the lens that has been put in their eye. And I'm like, what the heck is going on? So I went to the appointment with her through the week, and I felt so bad for her. Like they had put like drops in her eyes, and they had her sitting in this room, and she couldn't understand what the doctor was saying to her because she's hard of hearing, you know, even although she'll have her hearing aids in, like sometimes she just doesn't pick up certain tones. So the doctor came out, the optician came out, and he asked me to come in as he explained to her what was going on. So he said to me, like, "New Gran's 80, like she's no spring chicken," and he said that her eye has kind of changed its shape. It's not really round. It's more like a rugby. Thank you for listening to Navigating the Truth, and my guest was Willow Tumblety. If you would like to hear the remainder of this show, please go to kcorradio.com and you can access the archive for free. Thank you so much.